much. Hello, I'm Simon O'Brien and you're watching Do I Not Know That? Today's show gives the Minnows a chance to pull off a cup shock as Premiership giants Arsenal are in town. In this quiz, just like the game itself, mistakes often prove costly, which is what today's three sides will be hoping to avoid. So let's meet them, shall we? And here they are, the Gunners are here. Peter Kirkwood is their captain. Either side of him we have Emilio Zorlaki and Alistair Campbell, and their subs are Michael Edwards and Nicky Walker. And Plymouth Argyle flying high at the moment. Let's see if their team can keep it going. Mark Edwards is their captain. His wingers are Chris Galvin and David Pay, and their subs are Hayley Edwards and Susie Waldron. And the Wycombe Wanderers are with us. Dale Herman sits proudly in the middle of Ed Good and Joe Stevens, and their subs are Ian Blackledge and Chris Waldron. Say hello to the teams. The coaches have picked their squads, but how are they looking in the league?
Hi Simon. This has all the makings of a cup upset, as both the Wanderers and the Pilgrims will be looking to get one over on their more illustrious competitors, Arsenal. Wycombe have started this competition very strongly and will be looking to build on their promising start, while the Pilgrims know that they will have to improve after their opening performance if they wish to stay in contention. Simon, it's over to you.
Now, if you want to know when and who your team are up against, then visit our website at www.itv.com/football. We start, as usual, with the home team round. Each team has 90 seconds to answer as many questions as possible on their own club. 1 point per correct answer. No conferring and no passing, so as I always say, it is best to have a guess. So, Arsenal, you're going to kick us off. You all know the drill by now, don't you, fellas? Emilio, you'll be getting the first question, and your time starts now. Which former Arsenal favourite had the nickname Chippy?
Liam Brady.
Correct. Which goalkeeper left Highbury in 1977 and won a Championship and European Cup winners' medal with Aston Villa some years later?
Rimmer.
Correct. Who scored Arsenal's winning goal to secure the double in the 1971 FA Cup final defeat? Correct. Against which club did Ian Wright score a hat-trick on his league debut for Arsenal?
Southampton.
Correct. Which man in the 1970s became the club's youngest manager when he replaced Bertie Mee?
Terry Newell.
Correct. Against which club did David Platt make his last appearance for the Gunners, a game played at Wembley?
Newcastle.
Correct, the 1980 FA Cup final. Which Arsenal player was injured in an international game against Hungary in 1993-94 and so missed the Cup Winners' Cup final?
John Jensen.
Correct. Who scored the goal when Arsenal lost in the League Cup final for the first time at Wembley?
Gould.
It was Terry Cooper, Leeds United 68. Two players each scored 26 goals in the 1963-64 season. Joe Baker and who else?
Thomas.
Jeff Strong. On the same day in 1977 that Peter Storey moved to Fulham, who arrived from Tottenham for £80,000?
Willie Young.
Correct. Which current Arsenal player played for the Gunners in 1985-86 before returning to Highbury in the 92-93 season?
Keown.
Correct. Who, after leaving Highbury in the 1970s, was to win 3 European Cups, 5 league titles and a UEFA... Correct. Who won an England cap with a Scottish club, played for an Italian club and also played for the Gunners? It was Joe Baker. Prior to Jermaine Pennant, who'd been the club's youngest
Jerry
player?
Gould.
Correct. Who top scored for the club when they won the league? That's it, we're out of time. Hey, Arsenal, very good start indeed, 11 points, well played. Arsenal flying high in the Premiership, but Plymouth Argyle are doing just as well in the lower leagues. How are you, fellas, yes?
All right, thank you.
OK, are you ready? You know the drill as well, so your time starts now. Plymouth's first 2 home defeats in the league this season came in August last year against Shrewsbury and...
Rochdale.
Correct. From which club did Argyle sign Lee Hodges in August last year?
Scunthorpe.
It's Reading. Which player was the only Plymouth player to score in the League, FA Cup and Worthington Cup last season, finishing with 8 goals in the 3 main competitions?
Paul McGregor.
Correct. Who in August 1992 was sent off for the first time in a career stretching 26 years? Correct. Which player moved to Home Park in 1964 for £1,500 at the age of 29?
Jack Cock.
It was Tony Buck. From which club did Argyle sign Mike Heathcote?
Shrewsbury.
It was Cambridge United. Which famous FA Cup winning side defeated Plymouth 6-1 in the competition in 1958 at Home Park?
Spurs.
Newcastle United. Argyle won only once in the opening 14 league games in 97-98, a 2-1 defeat of which club at Home Park?
Wycombe.
It was Walsall. Which club did Argyle play in a testimonial in the 1991 pre-season for Secretary Graham Little?
Arsenal.
Correct. Which First Division side knocked Argyle out of the FA Cup in both 1975 and 1989?
Bolton Wanderers.
Everton. Who was the famous milkman who left the Cooperative Society and signed Proforms in 1965?
Mike Wilco.
It was Mike Bickle. Which defender spent most of the 1981-82 season on loan at Exeter and was the Grecians Player of the Year, although he had returned to Plymouth at the end of the season?
Bobby Saxton.
George Foster. Plymouth's first Sunday game in March 1974 saw 3 players sent off. It was correct. Amazing guess. Well done there. And that got the score up to 5. Well done, Plymouth. On to Wycombe Wanderers. They're not scared of anyone, are you, fellas?
Absolutely.
No? You're ready to go, aren't you? Ed, you'll be kicking us off, and your time starts now. Which Wanderers player conceded an own goal in the 2-0 home defeat by Bury in February 2002?
Mark Rogers.
Correct. Who scored the winning goal when Wycombe beat Stoke City for the first time in 8 attempts?
Jermaine McSporran.
Correct. Who was the manager of Wycombe between 1977 and 78?
Brian Lee.
It was John Reardon. Whose first goal for Wycombe was a 90th-minute winner in the 2-1 victory at Bristol City in April 2001?
Guy Wissingham.
Correct. Which Division 3 side knocked Wycombe out of the FA Cup when they reached the 3rd round proper for only the 2nd time in January 1986?
York City.
Correct. Which player made 4 league appearances for Wycombe in the 1999-2000 season, having earlier played for Spurs, West Ham and Charlton Athletic?
Steve Jones.
It was Mark Robson. Which side knocked Wycombe out of the LDV Vans Trophy in the quarter-final stages last
Swindon
season?
Town.
Correct. In Wycombe's first season in the conference, a record crowd of 9,432 saw them play away at which team in May 1988?
Lincoln City.
Correct. Who was dismissed for the 6th time in his Wycombe career at Oldham in November 1999?
Steve Brown.
It's Jason Cousins. Which side beat Wycombe 4-2 on aggregate in the FA Trophy semi-finals in the 91-92 season?
Sutton United.
It's Altrincham. Which side knocked Wycombe out of the FA Cup 1-0 in the first round replay in November 1995?
Gillingham.
Correct. Against which side in September 2000 did Wycombe score twice in 9 seconds of play?
Peterborough United.
Correct. Which player did Wanderers buy for £50,000 from Birmingham City in March 1996 and transfer on a free to Cardiff 3 years later?
John Williams.
John Cornforth. Which non-league side? That's it, we're out of time. Wycombe, solid start. 8 points, well played. The first round is over, but who has found their passes reaching their teammates? Well, that would be Arsenal, because at the moment, Plymouth have 5 points, Wycombe Wanderers have 8, but Arsenal are the early leaders with 11 points. Well, first of all, let's have a little chat with Plymouth Argyle. Do we like Paul Sturrock?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, we do, don't we? What's he done, you know? What's the magic he's put into it?
He's brought in some good players, a lot of skillful players. We're playing a lot better football than we've ever played, and we just seem to believe in ourselves a lot more.
So is it a case of that? Are they playing good football, or are they just battering clubs to death?
Good football.
Good
We're
football.
fitter as well, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, fitness is a lot.
We're not conceding last-minute goals.
Right. So in other words, they're doing the training properly rather
Yeah.
than going down the pub in the afternoon.
Well, they do that as well.
OK, thanks very much for that, Plymouth. Time now for the video round. Yes, round 2 is our video round. We play our teams 30 seconds of top-notch footy, and they then use their superb memories to answer questions on what they've just seen. The questions could relate to anything in the clip, so you can't afford to miss the smallest of details. Answers through your captain, and I will only accept your first answer. And as usual, Plymouth Argyle, there are a maximum of 8 points on offer, but we know that, don't we? OK, all ready? Then let's take a little trip down memory lane. All concentrating enormously there. You ready, fellas? Yep. All answers through the captain, and your time starts now. Who are the team that scored in the first clip through a header after they hit the bar?
Real Madrid.
Correct. Who is the Madrid striker who hits the bar and picks the... Correct. Who is the England player that heads home in the second clip?
Model.
It was Terry Butcher. Who is the Scotland goalkeeper who stands little chance of making a save?
Alan Ruff.
That's correct. Who are the team that scored through a well-worked move in the third clip?
Notts County.
Correct. Against which team did County score that goal?
Southend.
It's Peterborough United. Terry Butcher won 77 caps for England, while with Ipswich Town and which other club?
Rangers.
Correct. Real Madrid striker Raul was freed as a youngster by which club? It was Atletico Madrid. Hey, but anyway, great score in there, Plymouth Argyle. 5 points, well played. Wandering on to Wycombe. Are you ready, fellas? Yep. Then let's see if we can see some bad sideburns. Here we go. All right, take all that in. Let's find out everything through Dale, and your time starts now. Who are the teams seen scoring through
Hungary.
an excellent goal? Correct. At which World Cup was that Poland goal scored?
82.
Correct. On which ground is the goal in the second clip scored?
Loftus Road.
Correct. Who was the Nottingham Forest player that curls the ball into the Loftus Road
Nigel
net?
Clough.
It was Stuart Pearce. Who was the Chelsea player who takes on two defenders?
Johnson.
Correct. Who was the Chelsea number 11 that plays the initial pass to Good Johnson?
Gronkia.
It was Zenden. At Spain 82, Poland finished in third place after a fantastic tournament. Which team did they beat 3-2 to claim third place?
France.
Correct. Zenden is a regular in the Dutch national... Don't look so surprised. Very well done. 5 points, Wanderers. On to the Gooners. Let's see if they can keep that excellent form from the first round going. You ready, fellas? Polish those specs, because here comes your video clip. All right, where the glass is in focus, let's find out, shall we? Peter, everything coming through you, your time starts now. Daniel Bertoni curls home a great goal from the edge of the area for which country in the first clip?
Argentina.
Correct. Against which team
El
did
Salvador.
Argentina? Correct. John Barnes finishes well in the second clip for Liverpool after which player's great pass?
Beardsley.
Correct. Beardsley, Barnes and Liverpool are playing against which team in that clip?
Sheffield United.
Correct. Who is the Manchester City player who plays a 1-2 before finishing on the near
Ben
post?
White.
It was Darren Huckabee. Huckabee plays that 1-2 with which player to beat the final defender?
Smith.
It's Bernabia. Peter Beardsley started his league career at Carlisle. The next
Carlisle.
English club he joined was, here they go, Newcastle United. And that's it, we're out of time. Arsenal, 4 points, well played. The teams have faced 2 tricky rounds so far, but who has remained calm under pressure and find themselves setting the pace? That would still be Arsenal, but only just now. Plymouth have 10 points, Wycombe Wanderers have 13. Arsenal are still out in front, though, with 15 points. Well played. As the teams head back to their dressing room to hear what their coaches thought of their first half performance, I'm off to listen through the keyhole. See you in the second half. Right. Welcome back to the second half of Do I Not Know That? Just before the ref gets the game underway, let's see what half-time changes have happened. Arsenal, Peter, any changes over here?
None at all.
You're happy as you are? Don't change your winning formula, right?
That's the way to do it.
Okie dokie. Plymouth Argyle, any changes over here?
So we're sticking with our European formation.
You're happy as you are? Yeah, fair enough. Thanks for that, Mark. And Wycombe Wanderers, Dale, any changes here?
No changes here.
No, you're happy as you are?
Absolutely.
Are you happy with Mr. Sanchez?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? What do you need to do, you know, to make that next step now?
No injuries would be a big help, that's for sure.
Has that been the problem this season, do you think?
Getting vital players injured at vital times.
Which players?
Well, Paul McCarthy, centre-back, and Andy Rammell, centre-forward.
Yeah.
Both at the same time, just after Christmas. Hence our bad run since then.
OK, thank you very much for that, Wycombe Wanderers. Anyway, there are no changes, so there won't be any effect from any subs. Anyway, let's move on to the specialist round. Each team nominates one player to go under the spotlight. That player can choose any area of football history and has 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can on their chosen subject. As usual, you can't pass. So back to Wycombe Wanderers. Can I ask you please, Dale, who will be your specialist team player?
Yeah, it's going to be Joe.
Come on then, Joe Stevens, come and join me on the penalty spot. Now, as Joe's making his way up here, I can tell you that Wycombe's highest score from the first phase was 39 points, which they managed twice. Their highest specialist score was a great 13 points, but their lowest score was a very poor 5 points. In the first phase, they were averaging 9.25 points in each specialist round. But Joe, we'll have to do a little bit better than that, I think, if you're going to progress. So, not to put any pressure on you, like. You ready, mate? Your specialist subject is Wycombe Wanderers' 1998-99 season, and your time starts now. Who took over as manager of Wycombe in February 1999? Correct. In the season, Wanderers failed to win any of their 12 league games until beating which side? Correct. Wycombe's biggest win of the season was 4-1 against which side in December 1990? Correct. And in that game, who scored 2 of his 4 league? Correct. Who scored a last-minute equaliser against Bristol Rovers in August 1998? That's correct. Which keeper made his first 2 appearances for Wycombe in the season as deputy for Mark Taylor?
Westhead.
Correct. Which side did Wycombe beat 1-0 in the first round of the FA Cup?
Chesterfield.
Correct. Which player moved from Wycombe to Notts County for £10,000?
Rockstar.
Correct. Who scored for Wycombe in the League Cup games at home to Swindon and Middlesbrough?
Steve Brown.
Correct. Against which club were both Paul McCarthy and Keith Ryan sent off in a 3-1?
Sound.
Correct. Who moved from Fulham to Wycombe in October
Lawrence.
19... Correct. Whose only league goal of the season was a penalty in the 2-1 defeat of Preston in February
John
1990?
Corforth.
Correct. Wycombe's first away win in the league was in March 1999 when they... Correct. Who scored 3 goals in the season, 1 each in the league, FA Cup and League Cup?
Paul Reid.
That's correct. Joe, excellent scoring. 14 points. Well played. I said he had to do better, and he did. Moving on to Arsenal. OK. Peter, can I ask you, please, who will be your specialist team player?
I'm the chosen one today.
The captain's taking it on, then. Please come and join me on the penalty spot. Now, I can tell you, as Peter comes up here, that Arsenal finished their first phase in second place in Group B with an impressive average of 34.75 points. In the group, they finished only 2 points behind the winners, Lincoln City, but far more importantly for them, I'm sure, they finished 14 points ahead of Spurs. Arsenal's specialist round average is 9.75 points per game. And just like Wycombe, mate, I think you've got to do a bit better in this phase, yeah?
I should give it a go.
Oh, let's find out. Your chosen subject is Arsenal's 1990-91 championship winning season, and your time starts now. Which club ended Arsenal's FA Cup run in the semi-finals?
Tottenham.
Correct. Who scored a hat-trick in the final game of the season, a 6-1 defeat?
Limpar.
Correct. In the League Cup, the Gunners played 2 teams from the same city. Name it.
Manchester.
Correct. Which was the only side to defeat Arsenal in the
Chelsea.
league? Correct. Which club did Arsenal meet 4 times in a cup tie?
Leeds.
Correct. On May the 6th, Arsenal celebrated the title win with a 3-1 win over which club?
Manchester United.
Correct. Which player scored a hat-trick against the Gunners?
Smith.
Correct. It was Lee Sharp. Who made his league debut in the Highbury defeat of Sheffield United, its only appearance of the season?
Cole.
Correct. Who started only 15 league games but finished with 9 league goals?
Campbell.
Correct. Which third division side lost in the FA Cup 6th round 2-1 at
Cambridge.
Highbury? Correct. Which club were runners-up to the league championship winners Gunners side?
Liverpool.
Correct. Which future England international scored for Cambridge in their tie?
Dublin.
Correct. Which player's 5 league goals all came from the penalty spot?
Dixon.
Correct. Against which club did the Gunners record their most emphatic league win?
Coventry
5-0?
City.
It's Aston Villa. Which club held Arsenal to 2 goalless draws in the league?
Tottenham.
Correct. Hey, Peter, great score as well. 13 points. Well played. They're scoring well in the specialist round. Let's see if Plymouth Argyle can keep it going. Can I ask you, please, Mark, who will be your specialist team player?
Dave's going to do that for us.
Come on, Dave Page, join me on the penalty spot. Plymouth won 2 of their first phase fixtures and finished as winners of Group D with 101 points. However, only 745 points were scored overall in Group D compared with 1,057 points in Group B. During their specialist round, they are averaging 9.5 points per round. Everyone else has done better than that. Let's see if we can keep it going, Dave. I'm sure you will. Your specialist subject is Plymouth Argyle's 2000-2001 season, and your time starts now. Against which side did Argyle win their first away game in the league?
Exeter City.
Correct. Who played in 45 league games without scoring a goal?
John Mesweatherick.
Correct. The club won only once in their first 7 league games against...
Mansfield Town.
Correct. Whose only league goal was as a substitute in the first home game of the season in the 90th minute?
Kevin Nanscoville.
Is Martin Gritton. Plymouth played 2 games in the LDV Vance Trophy, winning and then losing against teams from which city?
Bristol.
Correct. Which former youth player made his debut in goal in the last game of the season?
Lynn McCormick.
Correct. Who lost his place in goal after the FA Cup defeat by Chester?
John Sheffield.
John Hodges. Argyle won only 2 away league games against Exeter and...
York City.
Correct. Who scored 10 league goals and towards the end of the campaign played in the centre of defence?
Sean McCarthy.
Correct. Who made his debut at Exeter and scored 5 times in games Argyle were unbeaten in?
David Freo.
That's correct. Martin Devaney scored a hat-trick against the Pilgrims in September for which club?
Cheltenham Town.
Correct. Which player played in 48 games in all competitions, scoring just once against Chesterfield? Just out of time. Sure you'd have got it. Martin Phillips. Dave, 9 points. Well played. With 1 round to go, which of the teams will need to pull something extra special out of the bag? Well, I guess that would be Plymouth Argyle, because they're trailing with 19 points. Way ahead of them are Wycombe Wanderers with 27 points, but the Gunners are just holding on. Arsenal in the lead with 28 points. Let's see if there's been any changes for this 10th last round. Plymouth Argyle, any changes over here, Mark?
No, staying as we
you
are.
are happy as you are? You sure? No. Okay. Wycombe Wanderers, any changes over here, Dale?
Yes, we've made 2 tactical changes. Brought on Ian on the right and Chris on my left.
Why is that, mate? You just sacked the whole squad, basically, haven't you?
We wanted to replace youth with experience so we can
Old fart.
get some of the old questions right.
Glad you said that. Thank you very much for that. And Arsenal, any change over here?
No, I'm sticking with the Three Musketeers.
Right, fair enough. Yes, your Three Musketeers, they've been playing fantastic this season, haven't they?
They have indeed.
For me, I mean, I'm not a surprise, but everyone's gone out talking about Perez, and for good reason, I guess. You know, he's been magnificent,
Well,
hasn't
I think he should be in the running for the Football of the Year because last year he was very ordinary. He came on late, but this season, right from the first day, he's given it his best shot. And
Yep.
you see the football we're playing.
If Mr. Wenger was going to, you know, strengthen that squad at all in the summer, what would you be looking for?
A right back, a centre back, and 2 forwards.
You're not too fussy, you lot, are you? Good grief. I was expecting, well, not really. We're doing great.
We're ruthless.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You want to keep up with Man U? You've got to, haven't you, really?
Yeah. Who?
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Thank you for that, Arsenal. Time now for the buzzer round. We have 90 seconds of quick-fire footy questions. Get the question right and your team gets 2 points. Get 1 question wrong and your team gets a yellow card. 2 questions and that card turns red, which means a point off, as is every further incorrect answer. And of course, teams wait until I call your names out before answering, because you can give the answer away. Okay, are you ready? All fingers on the buzzers. The buzzer round starts now. For which club was Frank Worthington playing when he topped the First Division goal scorers Plymouth Argyle?
Leicester City.
It was Bolton Wanderers. For which player did Chester City receive a club record £300,000 in May 1980? Wycombe Wanderers?
Luke Beckett.
It was Ian Rush. Which England international moved from Chelsea to Stoke for £240,000? Wycombe Wanderers. It's Ian Hudson. Which man managed Tranmere Rovers in the 1970s, 80s and 90s? Wycombe Wanderers. Correct. To which American club did Manchester City sell Rodney Marsh in January 1976? Wycombe Wanderers.
Bay Rowdies.
That's correct. Who was the West German goalkeeper involved in the incident when... That's Wycombe Wanderers.
Tony Schumacher.
It's Harold Schumacher. Which club shares the Stadio Olimpico with AS Roma? With Arsenal? Correct. Which player cost Spurs £11 million from Dynamo Kiev? Arsenal?
Red
Correct. Which German international played for Barcelona, Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid as Wycombe Wanderers?
Rummenigge.
It was Bernard Schuster. Which player came to England in 1992 to have a trial with Sheffield Wednesday but then signed for Leeds? Wycombe
Eric
Wanderers?
Cantona.
Correct. Which American World Cup star of the 1994 finals became the first man from his country to play
John Hart.
Arsenal? It was Alexi Lalas. Which team in 1989 became the first to win 2 Wembley finals in the same season? Plymouth?
Arsenal.
It was Nottingham Forest. Which team in 1996 defeated Ajax on penalties to win the European Cup?
Juventus.
Correct. Who scored 3 penalties for Sheffield Wednesday against Luton in a League Cup tie in 1984? The answer was Andy Blair, but we're out of time. Well played, the teams. So, let's see who came out on top in this Group 2 encounter. Plymouth Argyle picked up a red card and they finished with 18 points. Wycombe were kicking people all over the place, but they still picked up 3 points. They finished with 30. But the Gunners are the winners today with 34 points. Well played, Arsenal. Let's cross over to our resident Stato to see how that changes the state of play in Group 2.
Hello, Simon. After all the dust had settled, it was the Gunners who were firing on all cylinders as they got their opening game in Group 2 underway with a victory. Once again, the Wycombe lads put in a good performance as they trailed Arsenal home in second, although our appeals panel deducted a point from them whilst also handing the Gunners an extra point. As for the Pilgrims, they were never at the ballpark today and will need to go back to the drawing board. Simon.
And don't forget, for full details on how all 36 teams in those 4 leagues, including your own favourites, are doing, visit our website at www.itv.com/football. The ref has blown his whistle on today's game, but make sure you tune in next time when I'll be joined by 3 more sets of reporters, all hoping they won't be saying, "Do I not know that?" Well played, the teams. Well done, the Gunners.
Well, to see what the opposition throws out, I'm sure they'll all be really tough. I don't think it's there's no easy or difficult teams we can get. I mean, as I say, we knocked Spurs out the previous round. That's who else cares after that.
I think the main difference between the first phase and this phase now is that the questions have got a lot tougher. Because a lot of the current stuff's been exhausted in the early rounds, we're getting into the histories of the club now, so you've really got to know your stuff.
Right, congratulations, Joe, winning man of the match. That was a superb individual round. You really do deserve it. Well played, mate.
Thank you. Well done today on the win. Best team won, and hopefully we'll meet in the semi-finals.
Let's hope so. All the best.